my name is Courtney Reed, and I'm here to tell you why marijuana should not be made legal across the United States. Some points I will cover and explain are what marijuana actually is, short and long-term effects on you mentally and emotionally, the gateway drug, facts relating to addiction, reasons people may have for using, and last but not least, reasons why someone who disagrees with my stand is incorrect. Here's my visual on the mental effects and areas of your brain that are affected. Do you know of anyone who uses marijuana? Think about your feelings towards it. Do you agree with their reasoning for use? Everyone has their own opinions regarding the illicit drug marijuana. However, many may not know about the short and long-term effects that the illicit drug has on people. Some of my personal experience with people who have used harsh drugs after starting with marijuana have made me realize how dangerous they are. The illicit drug marijuana should not be made legal over the United States due to the effects it has on people mentally and emotionally. If some of you do not know what marijuana is, I'll go ahead and explain. According to the article on National Institute on Drug Abuse site, marijuana refers to the dried leaves, flowers, stems, and seeds from the hemp plant, Cannabis sativa. This drug contains mind-altering chemicals, delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, which is what gives people the feeling of a high. Some people will support marijuana and say there's nothing wrong with it and it does not harm you. However, do you really think inhaling or digesting anything that is referred to as a chemical is good for you? Marijuana is not good for your body or the mind, and here are some facts why. There are many negative effects of smoking marijuana, ranging from short to long-term effects. According to the article on Foundation for a Drug-Free World, some short-term effects are sensory distortion, anxiety, panic, poor coordination of movement, lowered reaction time, sleepiness or depression after the climax of the high, and increased heart rate, which means you have a greater risk for a heart attack. Notice how I lowered reaction time. That right there decreases your driving abilities and makes it unsafe not only for you but for others as well. Another huge short-term effect is the chance of depression after the climax of their high. People with depression more often than not consider suicide. So why would you want to do something that makes the chances and thoughts possible of committing suicide? More effects expressed from the same article, as I said earlier, is long-term effects include rapid destruction of lung fibers and lesions or injuries to the brain that could be permanent, study difficulties that reduce ability to learn and retain information, lack of motivation, personality and mood changes, inability to understand things clearly, and more. When people decide to use marijuana, it can lead to addiction and far worse drugs that can do more damage. Statistics show that the rate at which people get addicted to marijuana and some of the reasons for the drug leading to harsher drugs. According to the article Marijuana by Andrew Colony and his group of experts, research shows that about 1 in 6 people who start using marijuana in their teens and 25 to 50% of those who use it every day become addicted. Think about how many people there is in the United States and how many 1 in 6 people would turn out to be addicted. Research suggests that 30% of users may develop some degree of a problem with this usage, which using marijuana before age 18 are 4 to 7 times more likely than adults to develop problem use. Dependence becomes addiction when the person can't stop using marijuana even though it interferes with his or her daily life, according to the same article on National Institute on Drug Abuse. Marijuana is considered a gateway drug to far worse illicit drugs including heroin, meth, cocaine, acid, and more. Once someone starts smoking marijuana to where they use it constantly, several times a day, or even weekly, it starts to have less of an effect on them. When their high does not seem as satisfying as it is used, they tend to look elsewhere for that feeling. I have witnessed firsthand people I knew in school who started using marijuana, and after a few years of that, it was no longer good enough, so they started cocaine. Not only did they continue to use it to the point where they got kicked out of school and no longer did any work. So as you can see, marijuana starts to interfere with people's lives. The best thing you can do is stay away from any kind of drugs, including marijuana. Most of all, People who smoke have a reason for doing so, whether it is a way for them to relax, whether they're depressed, or use it as a way to escape reality. Some people use the drug simply for the fact that they want to feel the high you get from it. Others use it because the opportunity came about, so they thought they would try it to see what it was like. Most likely, if you try it once, you're bound to try it again and again. However, there are many people out there that use the drug simply to relieve pain for medical purposes such as cancer. I know there are many people out there that would disagree with my stand that marijuana should not be made legal throughout the United States, and I am here to tell them that they are wrong. Some may use the fact that lots of people use it for medical purposes, which helps them tremendously, while others will use the simple fact that it is not bad for you because it helps cancer pains, or no one has ever died from marijuana. First of all, the people who use marijuana to help with medical purposes have a medical marijuana card. That card is given specifically from the doctor and approved, so they are legally authorized to obtain it. Secondly, people who do not use it for medical purposes have absolutely no reason for using it. It is simply something they want to use. It is scientifically proven that there are major effects to the brain when used continuously. According to the article on National Institute on Drug Abuse, a study showed that people who start smoking marijuana heavily in their teens have an ongoing cannabis use disorder loss an average of 8 IQ points between 13 and 38. The illicit drug marijuana should not be made legal over the entire United States due to the effects it has on people mentally and emotionally. There are many important facts that I stated earlier in my speech that I would like to review once more. Some short-term effects may consist of loss of coordination, decreased reaction time, depression, anxiety, and more. I know there are many people out there that would disagree with my stand that marijuana should not be made legal throughout the United States, and I'm here to tell them that they are wrong. I hope my knowledge and research on this topic help persuade some people otherwise. Thank you for coming out and listening. Have a great night.